On DAB Digital Radio and 1089 and 1053 AM. The Sports Bar on Talksport.
Welcome back to round number 2 of Andy Goldstein's Sports Bar with me and old Moonface over there. And we've got lots coming up in hours 2 and 3, including a look at tomorrow's back pages tonight, or an in-depth look, kind of question time a bit later on. But time for our first guest of the second hour. He may be a rock and roll superstar to you, but to us he'll always be Dr. Octagon.
Dr. Octagon. Dr. Octagon, Dr. Octagon is here.
Good evening, Noel Gallagher.
No.
All right, fellas.
How are you, my friend? Are you good?
I'm very well.
All the way from New York City. Are you still there? Is that where you are at the moment?
Yeah. I've been here for a few days. Got a show tomorrow night.
Oh, right, okay. So are you on another tour then?
It's still the same tour as 2 years ago, yeah. I'm coming to an end now, though.
Okay. When was the last time you saw any member of your family, including your wife?
The wife at Glastonbury, across the muddy field.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, she was still looking good, I must say.
Yeah, as always. Hey, listen, thank you so much for coming on. We've got loads to talk to you about, of course, including Man City. But before we talk about Pep and your chat with him, let's talk about the Euros. Have you watched much of it? Have you enjoyed it or not?
Yeah, I've watched most of it. I think it's been great. I love the Euros anyway. I kind of prefer it to the World Cup. I think it's great.
Did you go to any games, Noel?
No, I've been in and out of the studio and on tour. So, but I managed to. I was at home for the first couple of weeks, so I managed to watch most of the early games, and I think it's been good. Has it been good?
It's been good, not from an English perspective, but it has been good. What did you make of Roy and the boys and England and so on?
Just same old, isn't it? And it's just, they're picking the wrong players in the wrong places and not playing as a team. It kind of never gets any worse or any better. It just stays the same, I'm afraid.
But I think this one is worse, There is something about this, because I don't actually think we played as bad as everyone says in the first 3 games. We weren't brilliant. I don't think we were shocking. But against Iceland, that's the biggest bottle job I've ever seen an England side do.
I've got to say I was absolutely shocked. I mean, and I'm not a huge England fan. I don't feel it like everybody else feels it. But I thought once they went a goal up, you just thought, well, that's it. That's kind of it. This goes through this game. But when you're picking, England never play as a team. They never play. They never have the complete opposite to Wales. They never have a plan. They just. Why Rooney went in the first place is beyond me. Why he went as a midfielder when he's not got the legs for it is beyond me. But I don't know. I think England never quite get the chemistry right. There's always a couple of weak links, and this time it was blindingly obvious it was the manager from about a month before they went.
A quick word on Wales as well. They've, of course, got Portugal in the semi-final. They could do it. They could not only win that semi-final, but who's to say they won't go on and win the whole thing?
I think they'll beat Portugal. They've been brilliant. They've been... who's this Aaron Ramsey character that's bobbing every week in the league? Who is he?
Well, he won't be playing, of course, in the semi-final. It'll be a big miss for them. And is it Davis as well that's out?
Yeah.
And these are 2 players that I personally think they're going to miss. But it's going to be billed as the Bale-Ronaldo show, isn't it?
Yeah. If Wales win, Bale might turn up for the first day of Madrid training, and Ronaldo might hand him his P45 and say, "Oh, by the way, I fired you." But I hope Wales. I think they'll get to the final and play Germany, and then Germany will win.
Can I ask you? Because we had this big on the show last week. Now, will you be supporting Wales in that game? Will you hope they will win it?
Absolutely. I would go. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. See, I was saying exactly the same. I was saying I hope they go on and win the entire tournament.
I don't.
Cundy doesn't want them
I don't want them to win it. I've got
Yeah, but Cundy's mental, though, isn't he? And he's a very disingenuous and mean-spirited man.
But I've got no affiliation with Wales. I don't look at them any differently than I do France. I in some ways I prefer. In fact, I prefer France to win it.
I don't know. I'd like Wales to win it because it would expose the sheer averageness of the whole of the English setup. You know, the thing about players being tired and all that kind of thing. And it would shame England, I think, if Wales won it. And I hope they do, because it would be a great story, and it would be great to kind of, you know, say you were around and seen it, you know.
No, I think they've shamed England. I think that's already happened. I think France done that again last night with how they dispatched Iceland in such emphatic style. They didn't even get out of first gear. But I think Wales, they've already done that, haven't they?
Well, you know, you say, I mean, like Wales to get there was like a huge effort, you know, and then to kind of get out of the group was like, you would have thought would have been the number one goal, and then they just keep going on, and who's to say, you know, if they kind of get in front against Portugal have been rubbish, not won a game yet, you know, and if Wales get in front, and you know, Ashley Williams looks like a man possessed, you know, you can't back against Wales. I can't see them winning it because Germany just look like they're just about to click, and but Wales could easily get to the final, and I hope they do.
Let's talk about your side, Man City. Before we talk about back pages and so on, you recently sat down with your gaffer, Pep. How long ago was that, and what was it like?
It was, let me see, it was quite a few weeks ago. He was great. I was up in Manchester a few months ago. I can't remember what I was doing up there, and I went along to the Etihad. I know people up there, and to the campus, and they said, would you fancy doing an interview with him? And I went, well, let me think about that for 4 seconds. Like, yes, you know. And so a few weeks later, he arrived and kind of went back, and we did this interview, and he was great. I was really impressed by his, I don't know, he's got a bit of a glint in his eye. He seems really young, do you know what I mean? He's like one of the lads. He doesn't seem like most managers come across as school teachers and, you know, like prison wardens. He seems like he might be one of the lads, you know what I mean? And he said a great thing. I don't know whether I haven't seen the interview yet. I was asking him how the current squad would fare, and how he would know if players were going to be with him or not. And he said, well, I can just smell it on them. And I said, oh, how's that? And he said, I can literally smell it on them. And he was saying that it won't take him long before he'll think, right, well, he's great. I need him. The rest. See you later.
Well, let me ask you then, now, because on the back of a few newspapers today, on the back of the Sun, the back page headline is City boss fires warning, no one's safe. And then it goes on to say, Pep Guardiola warned his Man City stars he will not be afraid to ditch them and play the kids next season.
And rightly so.
So does that mean people like Joe Hart, Raheem Sterling, a company, Toure, are they all under the spotlight then?
I'd say everybody is. And I wouldn't expect a new manager coming in, particularly at that stature, to say anything less than that. You know, with the greatest respect to Yaya, you know, he's got 1 year left on his contract, and he's a legend and forever will be at that club, but he's not the future. And I think he has to say that anyway, but I think he probably means it. And I think, you know, he's got a legacy to protect. He's not going to go there, just pick up the cheque and say, oh, well, that was fun while I was in England. You know, he's going to want to come and win everything in the first season. That's the thing I got off him. You look into his eyes, and he was very, very, it was like a Jedi almost.
Let me ask you then, out of all the stars you've got at your club, who do you fear for the most?
There's rumours about the goalie, isn't there? Which kind of don't seem to go away. Raheem has got a big job on between the end of the end of the window and the one opening in January. But saying that though, if Pep is the coach that we all make him out to be, he'll get it out of Sterling because it's in there, because we've seen it in there a couple of years ago. Do you know what I mean? And this is what great coaches do, because I remember when the German centre-half Boateng was at City. It was dreadful. We were glad to get rid of him. We got 18 million for him. I thought, great, we've stuck one up Bayern Munich there. Pep arrives and he's now worth, 40, 50 million? He's a brilliant defender. So, you know, if Pep is the coach that he is and Raheem is willing to learn, you know, we could see the £50 million player.
Who else? I'm not to ask after names here, but where else does Pep need to go and spend big? I mean, Man United looking at Pogba, rumoured to be 100 million, 80, 100 million pounds.
He won't come back to Manchester.
Why do you say that?
Well, he's been there and done it.
Yeah, but not as the biggest name in midfield football. He hasn't before. I mean, he was a kid when he left.
Yeah, I'd be amazed if he came back to Manchester. But I mean, he's a great player, clearly. But go on, so finish your question.
I was going to say, well, who else do you think he needs to sign? Not the sort of positions. I mean, we know.
Well, we need 2 left backs. We need 2 centre halves, and we need a second striker, and as many as you can get your hands on, I guess. I mean, there's not many fantastic players out there of the age where they're going to go on and develop, is there?
Well, let me ask you then, because United have it looks like they're going to get the signature of Mkhitaryan. They've got Zlatan, we know that. Bailey, the centre half, they've got as well. City looks like they're going to get, or they're going to confirm Zinchenko. They've got Nolito as well from Celta Vigo. Are you impressed yet? Are City fans impressed by these names? Do you need a big Zlatan name to get everyone excited about the season or not?
What, Ibrahimovic? Look, you're welcome to him, okay? Not interested in that bozo.
Okay.
I would.
You'll be proved wrong. You know that.
He won't be around long enough.
No.
He might be the top scorer in the Europa League next year. Give you a shout when that happens.
Good.
I'd have thought, and this is just my opinion, I would have thought there would be, and I would hope that there would be a couple of big ones coming in.
What about Harry Kane? No, I know he's not had a great Euros, and not too many English players did, but back page of the Sun tomorrow, I don't really wear this, Spurs are offering him a massive £100,000 a week deal for 5 years, which I think is pennies, personally. Whoever his agent is needs to try and double that somehow. Is that the sort of player that Guardiola and Man City might think, you know what, if that's all they're prepared to offer, maybe we can come in with a big multi-million-pound deal to try and get him out of there?
Well, I'm not sure what a Guardiola player is, because he had he's a Lewandowski at Bayern Munich, but he never had a Lewandowski kind of player at Barcelona. I mean, he got rid of Ibrahimovic. So, like how Mourinho's got a definite style of player that he likes up front, which is the big guy up front, and he's got a definite way that he has to play. We don't really know what Pep's is, so I don't really know.
But in the Premier League, he'll know the Premier League. He's played enough of those sides in the Champions League. He'll know that there needs to be a physicality. You've seen what Arsenal, how they continually struggle to dominate big games because they can be lightweight.
Well, I think that's where the signing of Arteta is pretty cute, because he's been in our league for over 10 years now, so he'll know what's coming up the next week. He'll be aware of what it takes. But I don't know what kind of player he would be after.
Okay, let me ask you. A couple of years ago, we had you on, and we had Napkin Gate with you. Do you remember that, Napkin Gate?
Yeah, the less said about that.
Yeah,
that was about 4 years ago, wasn't it?
It was a World Cup, wasn't it? You were. It was probably Was it 6 years ago, something like that? I can't remember. But anyway, I'm just curious. Do you know?
Is there another napkin?
Is there a tablecloth?
No.
You sat down with Pep, and has he told you anything you can't tell us?
He told me what his favourite music is, right, which is a disgrace.
It's not Blur, is it?
No, it's not even as good as that.
Go on.
Oh, no, I'm not going to tell you. I'm not going to drop him in it. But we had to cut it out of the video, because when he said, I don't know how we got talking to music, and he said, I really like, and what he said then was that I had to stop the filming and say, look, you're going to have to rewind that and wipe that, because I'm not having you saying that while I'm in this room. Because I might lunge at you. I might have nearly lunged at him.
Can you not just give us a little hint, a little clue?
Sing a song.
Or sing it, yeah.
No, listen. Me and him are mates now. I'm not dropping him in it.
Are you text mates with him?
No, not at all.
Oh, okay. All right.
But it's true. I'll tell you, right, off air. I'm not sharing it with the nation. It's the disgrace.
Okay.
Who he's into.
All right. Text me in a minute, and then it will stay with me. All right. You have my word.
We'll come back out the next break with
that music. Line up Chaz and Dave. Line up Chaz and Dave. Yeah. No, you're an absolute star as always. Thank you so much for coming on, and we'll catch up with you again soon.
All right, no worries.
Cheers, pal.